For the purpose of this demonstration, I decided to build a job request system that allows me to simulate a SOAP-based service-oriented architecture, then expose that functionality as REST APIs, and finally consume those APIs building a generic mobile application. The architecture is quite simple. It contains three main layers: an external API layer that it exposes the APIs to the mobile devices as well as providing the security access, the internal API layer that converts the REST APIs and connects to SOAP services, and the integration infrastructure layer that integrates by using adapters to the backend systems and creates this orchestration by building these business services. In this case, three main business services, which is a user, a job request, and notification. If we drill down into these business services, we are going to see that these are just traditional SOAP-based integrations that in this case contain some of them are mediators, some of them are BPELs, and some of them contain some of the adapters that are part of the JCA framework that helps to integrate to SaaS applications as well as underlying infrastructure. When it comes interesting is when we drill down into this internal API layer, and we can find out that that's the place in which we are converting REST to SOAP and SOAP to REST very easily without having to worry about creating or maintaining any mapping logic between REST and SOAP. Let's have a closer look to this internal API layer. At first sight, this looks like a normal OSB 12c implementation, but if we see on the left side, we are going to see that we are using these REST adapters that gives us this benefit of being able to convert REST to SOAP and SOAP to REST without having to worry about the API mapping. At the right, we have the traditional SOAP-based business services, and in the middle we have a simple pass-through. Let's open one of these REST adapters to see how they work. Because this REST adapter is connected to a SOAP-based web service, then we have full visibility of the contract, of the interface. The adapter is going to display which SOAP operations are part of the whistle, as well as which parameters are required for inputs and outputs. The only thing we have to do is to create the REST API resource paths that we want to expose, and then simply just map those API resource paths to whatever operation we want to map to. Let's create a new REST API from scratch so that I can show you how easy it is to do it. First thing we have to do is to right-click the pipeline that we want to expose as a REST adapter and just simply say expose as REST. In this case, I want to call my service my REST service. For the resource path, I'm just going to keep it very simple. I'm just going to say this API requires a status, and also it requires a state. I don't care about all these operations. There's only one SOAP operation that I want to connect to in this case, so I can easily remove the others and then just get the one that I am interested. In this case, I just want to connect to this operation. That's my resource API path. I don't care about IDs. In this case, I'm simply going to send, as part of my API path, I'm going to send the status and the state. In this case, they are going to be templates, so I just need to change to templates. For the response, I want to support both XML and JSON, so I just need to tick JSON and XML, and automatically all the mappings, all the fields, everything is going to be taken care of by the adapter. Let's click OK, and then OK again, and then we are ready to test this new REST API. What I have to do is to select my project and deploy. And then I am ready to test this API from any place. In this case, I am going to choose a REST testing tool, which in this case is going to be Postman. That's the name of the service that I chose, my REST service / jobs, which status I want to query, in this case accepted, and from which state, like Victoria. As part of the parameters, I am requesting JSON format, and I just need to send, and then I get the information straight away. Remember that we selected XML and JSON, so I can simply just select XML and the information is going to be retrieved by XML. What we have done here is taking a traditional SOAP-based web service and expose it as a REST web service. And the same applies to any of these other REST APIs that we created as part of this job request system. We can very easily go and analyze the contract that now is part of these REST APIs, and we can see all the information that is part of these APIs. We can see information about the methods, the parameters, the configurations that we selected as part of creating the API via the REST adapter. Alternatively, you can use API catalog in order to get design information about the APIs. This is basically you can harvest these APIs automatically by using scripts, or you can directly point to a particular project and then harvest all the APIs that are part of that particular project, like what we did for the job request system. There you can also have the option to use a generic harvester that you can point to any particular whistle, like what we did for this web service that is part of the backend business services, and then once again it is going to harvest all the information. At this point we can start consuming the APIs that we just created. We can create any type of mobile application. It can be a native Android or iOS application, or it can be a hybrid application, or it can be even a web mobile application, which is what we did for this job request system demonstration. Let's go to the job request system. You can go as well if you go to jobrequest.myoracledemos.com. We built this demo using standard HTML5 and JavaScript in order to demonstrate how simple it is to consume our REST APIs from any type of technology. As mentioned before, this system has three main personas, which are the customer, the manager, and the request worker. The customer is the user who creates the jobs. A manager receives the job request and delegates to a job worker, and the job request worker receives the jobs from the manager and decides whether to accept or reject the job. This system uses Oracle User Messaging Service, or UMS for short, which allows sending notification via email and SMS when a job request is created, assigned, modified, etc. Let's log in as a manager to have a quick view of the information that is being retrieved via the REST adapter. In this case, the manager email is manager@email.com, and the pin is 12345. All this information that we are seeing here is being retrieved from the REST adapters. This manager, the same as any other user, can also have the ability to create new requests to any other manager or to themselves. They can see all the open tickets, and all this information once again is coming from the backend systems. They can see all the assigned tickets, and because it's a manager, can see also all the job workers, and for each worker all the jobs requests that are assigned to that worker. In this case, let's analyze the open tickets. Let's have a look to this Fix My Printer. We can see the details, and if we expand, all this information is being retrieved from the backend systems. In this case, let's select that one and let's assign this to Mr. Worker. We receive a notification saying that this message has been sent. We get SMS notifications and email as well. And then we can see now in the assigned tickets that now this information, this ticket has been assigned to Mr. Worker, who we can call, send an SMS, send an email. We can see all the information about this ticket. Now let's log in as Mr. Worker so that we can accept or reject this message. Mr. Worker has an email that is worker@email.com, and the password and the pin is 12345 again. Once again, Mr. Worker has the ability to create new tickets for another manager or for himself. We can see also the assigned tickets. this ticket has been assigned to him. He can analyze all the details of this particular job. If he is okay with this information, then he can either accept or reject the ticket. In this case, let's accept the ticket. He accepts, and that's it. At that moment, we are going to get the notifications that this ticket has been accepted by Mr. Worker, and also the manager will receive a notification saying that this ticket has been accepted by Mr. Worker. Then Mr. Worker can see all the tickets that have been accepted by himself, like in this case, fix the printer. And then once again, all the information will be retrieved from the REST adapters, and the information is coming from the backend systems. In this demonstration, we included as part of the mobile application the architecture that we followed in the implementation of this system. Feel free to analyze it from a high-level view or drill down into the particular components that made possible running this very simple implementation. I hope that with this demonstration you were able to see how simple it is to leverage the investment on building a traditional service-oriented architecture and very easily extend that functionality to expose it to the new mobile channels that make use of completely different set of protocols such as REST JSON instead of SOAP XML. If you have any question or comment, feel free to send me a note to carlos.rodriguez.iturria@oracle.com. Thank you.